Ladies and gentlemen, live from the famous ACME Comedy Theatre in Hollywood, this is the ACME Radio Hour featuring the Liquid Radio Players. And now, please welcome to the stage, Mr. Brian St. Breiter.
Good night, everybody. Our show's canceled. Good night. What? You didn't hear?
No.
Our scripts accidentally fell into a paper shredder backstage.
What?
That's right. We have no detective thriller for you tonight. Good night, everyone. What? Someone said they want us to improvise based on your suggestions?
Yes.
All right. Well, in order to do so, we need your help. Will you do that?
Yes.
By that I mean applaud and cheer loudly. Why, the 100 of you sound great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for your support. Now, we need a title for a detective thriller tonight, like The Case of the Missing Adjective, Noun, Verb. The Case of the Blue Sapphire. Why, that sounds brilliant, lady. Thank you. Now, in order for us to do a detective thriller, we need a detective sounding, a strong sounding name. So, throw it out.
Jack Marston.
Jack Marston. Yes, Jack Marston. That sounds wonderful. Now, of course, there's got to be a dame in this show. Can somebody... Sir, what's your mother's name?
Jackson.
Your mother's name is Jackson?
Wanda Jackson.
Wanda Jackson? Wanda Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. All right, excellent. And you, young lady, what's your father's name?
Gerald.
Gerald? And what street did you grow up on?
Via Madronas.
Gerald Via Madronas. Gerald Via Madronas. Ladies and gentlemen, you just walked into our theater. We're creating a detective mystery based on your suggestion. Sir, what's your name?
Daniel.
I'm sorry? Daniel? And Daniel, and what's your last name, young lady?
Cooper.
Daniel Cooper. That's a great name for one of our characters in tonight's show. Daniel Cooper. And now could I have a foreign-sounding name? Ominous. Vladimir. Great. What was that?
Voskovich.
Vladimir Voskovich. Vladimir Voskovich. And one more, just one word, interesting sounding name. Go ahead. Which one? Javier. Okay, excellent. Javier. Now, in order for us to pay for this show tonight, we need sponsors. Is there a product that you have in your kitchen that you love? Wine? Okay. And is there a certain brand of wine? Wild horse wine, yes. And ma'am, is there a product that you remember growing up that your grandma would use around the house?
Brill pads.
Brill pads? Brill pads. And can I get a service that you might expect in the 1940s, the time we are in now?
Milkman.
A milkman? And what was your grandfather's name? Either one?
Edward.
Edward's Milk Service. Edward's Milk Service. Let's recap it really quickly. The Case of the Blue Sapphire, starring Mr. Ray, Jack Marston, Wanda Jackson, Gerald Via Madronas, Daniel Cooper, Vladimir Voskovich, and Javier. Tonight's show is brought to you by Wild Horse Wine, Brill Pads, and Edward's Milk Service. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your suggestions. Thank you very much. Our writers are quickly typing up our scripts right now, and may I introduce to you the host with the face of radio, David St.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the ACME Radio Hour, starring the Liquid Radio Players. Now let's put your hands together, please, if the throng would stay in their seats. Put your hands together for the Liquid Radio Players. adventure, a mystery. This week, the case of the blue sapphire. Our cast for this evening includes Breiter, Maurissa Afanador, Kimberly Lewis, Perkins, and Hungerford. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the theater of the mind. So if you would close your eyes very briefly and just imagine you're on a wind-swept vista and rushing towards you is a locomotive. An out-of-control locomotive. Being piloted by a monkey. With a pistol. Well, you can open your eyes, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. There are no runaway locomotives piloted by gun-wielding simians. It's merely the fantastic Foley work of Mr. Gary Ray. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I believe our scripts are prepared. Our scripts are ready for everyone. Our scripts are ready. Well, while our writers are busily backstage, let's meet Detective Jack Marston, played as always by Breiter. Detective Jack Marston, once the finest detective on the New York City police force, but due to a series of terrible misunderstandings and a typographical error, he was retired forcibly from the force by force. Now, taking up his private badge and his private gun, he seeks to right wrongs and find that which is lost, especially if that which is lost is the heart of a young lady. Another thrilling adventure of Detective Jack Marston! Filling out our cast, we have some of the finest performers that radio can afford. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are on the air in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting Liquid Detective serial, number 47 in a continuing series of the adventures of Detective Jack Marston. Now, if you'll remember, last week, the extremely difficult case of the missing shoe had left Detective Jack Marston in dire straits financially. So we find him, as we often do, sitting behind his enormous stainless steel desk, sipping the Scotch whiskey he keeps in the third drawer on the left, murmuring and remembering what had brought him to this terrible, terrible place.
Oh yeah, my sweet brown mistress. You never talk back to me, do you, sweetie? Let me take a swig. Oh yeah, I love the way you burn, as you're dripping down my throat like hot lava. It makes itself at home right in my belly.
And suddenly the door opened.
Only wasn't so broke. What? Huh?
And there stood Wanda Jackson.
Well, we're open for business, lady, but it's polite to knock.
Sorry, mister. You might say I'm desperate.
Desperate, eh? That's what I like in a woman. Desperation.
She had the kind of eyes that lesser men would have dived into and gone under, even if they knew how to tread water. A former frogman would have been pulled down into the depths of those eyes, but Marston was made of sterner stuff.
Well, if you like your women desperate, then we're soulmates.
Well, desperate times means desperate measures, lady. How desperate are you?
She threw a small jewelry box, black velvet, black as night, bounced on his desk.
Jewelry box, eh? Well, I could pay a lot of bills there. It's empty.
Yeah. You might say it's a mystery.
Why, this case is closed. Let me open it. There we go. It's the shape of a sapphire, and by the looks of it, big one.
Yeah, big blue one. Kind of like my eyes.
Big, blue, expensive-looking eyes.
She wore a pair of silk opera gloves that were white as snow, the white showing off more as she reached for a slug of brown whiskey.
Mind if I help myself?
Go right ahead. Careful. It's strong.
I can handle myself, Mr. Marston, is
Jack Marston. That's right. Right there on the nameplate and the door that you didn't knock on.
it? So you're the best private dick in town, they say.
I'm the biggest dick in town, is what they say.
Yeah, that is what they say.
He pointed
I'll
to
be
a
the
plaque
judge
on-
of that.
He pointed to a plaque on the wall that said exactly that.
Look at that. Biggest dick in Chicago. Picture of me next to it, right?
He had worked in Chicago very briefly before moving back to New York.
Right. Kicked me out of there for being such a big dick. But I'm here in a city that can handle.
But he still had a taste for deep dish pizza and deeper dishes like this broad standing in front of him.
Yeah,
He
sure.
got down to business quickly and quoted his daily fee.
Let's get down to business. Charge $10 a day, lady.
That's steep. You better be worth it.
I'm worth every dime. All 100.
She pulled
Well, I
out
hope
a
your detective skills are better than your math.
Well, I started out by guessing that you had a missing sapphire, didn't I? Score one for Jack.
She pulled out a $50 bill and a business card.
Here you go. It's the name of my jeweler.
Gerald Via Madronis?
That's right. He was the last man to see the sapphire, you see. I turned it into him for some cleaning.
Oh, you were in hock, were you?
All right. Cleaning, pawn, use whatever word you like.
Ah, I thought you were speaking metaphorically, but...
I was.
Oh, all right. Pardon me. Go on.
That's all. I had to hawk it. But then I got myself out of a bad situation and I went back to claim it, only it was
gone.
You are good.
All right. Well, that's easy. Gerald Via Madronis did it. I'll pay him a visit. Now listen, I need to keep tabs on you just in case this 5 days worth of pay runs out. Where can I find you?
Here's my number. I'll write it down on the back of this business card.
Wait a minute. What's your name, beautiful?
Wanda Jackson.
I wonder when I'll call you.
I wonder how many Jacksons I'll have to pay you
A lot.
later.
She walked out of the room like a wispy puff of wind out of the cigarette that I was smoking. Could only wonder where she got that sapphire from in the first place. She didn't look rich, but she looked like rich men love to shower her with gifts. My first stop, Gerald Via Madronis. Taxi! Taxi!
The address was 1414 Prescott Street, the Boonhaven building. He got down there to its suite and walked up to the front. Meanwhile, inside, Gerald Via Madronis was having a bit of an argument with a young lady.
I tell you, I only polish rings on Tuesdays.
Please, this is a very important ring. It needs to be done today.
I don't care if it is the ring of the Kaiser himself. I don't polish on Thursday.
Oh, you're the most frustrating man. I'm going to tell my father.
Be sure to tell your friends. Free handkerchiefs with every boutonniere.
Oh,
Yes, jewelry and boutonnieres is what we sell.
And with that, she turned on a very well-turned heel and charged towards the door, almost running into Jack Marston.
Excuse me, lady. Let
Yep.
me hold that open for you.
thank you.
She extricated himself from his strong arms and let herself out of the building. Marston approached the counter, put down his hat.
The counter is for looking, sir, not for hat resting.
Yeah? Is that what you say? What are you, the business owner?
Forgive my stutter. I am paralyzed by your steely gaze.
Your name wouldn't be Gerald Via Madronis, would it?
That is what it says on my business cards.
He handed one of his business cards to him. It was strange because it didn't match the quality or texture of the one that Wanda Jackson had given him.
That's strange. This card he just handed me doesn't match the writing or the texture that Wanda handed me. So, Via Madronis, you polish jewels here?
Yes, amongst other eclectic gatherings of things.
Now, so you're a pawn shop, are you?
Yes, I am known to help a lady in need by giving her money for her valuables.
And if she doesn't come back to pay you, you keep it, don't you?
Yes, or I sell it for a nice profit.
Listen, you. There's a woman that was here. A blue sapphire that fit perfectly in this box.
He lifted up his hat, and there was the box underneath it. It was like a magic trick.
Yes, let me put in my loop and take a look.
Yeah, you're looking at an empty box, loopy.
Well, yes, but a box is not what it seems. As you can see, easily a 5-carat stone fit into these engravings. I wish I could help you out, but a stone like that gathers customers quite easily.
Really?
Yes.
She told me she brought it to you.
Oh, she did, but she looked as if she was the kind of person who could not pay, so I found a customer for it right away.
Wow. That's queer. Usually you give them a week to come back.
Yes, but this customer was very interested.
All right, Mac, who was it?
Oh, it was effeminate Lou.
Effeminate Lou.
Yes. He's the somewhat girlish proprietor of the Waytown.
I know who he is.
Oh, I am surprised. You
No,
look
it's
so
not what you think.
Yes.
It's not what you think. I'm twice divorced.
Me too.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Well, listen.
You don't need to grab my lapel like that so hard.
Oh, yeah, I'll do more. What you're telling me ain't true.
Can't breathe. I would not lie to you.
All right. Hey, wait a minute.
Yes.
I'm gonna take this for safekeeping.
Oh, my loop.
That's right. They come in handy. Listen, Gerald Via Madronis. Don't make yourself scarce. Stick around. I'll be looking for you.
Don't worry. My lease is good through next year. I'm not going anywhere.
Marston put his hat on his head firmly and walked out the door. A little bell jingled as if it was saying goodbye. Via Madronis picked up a phone from underneath the counter. It was answered on the first ring
Hello?
by a very effeminate voice.
Yes?
There's a special man coming to see you. No, not like that.
Oh, you always get my hopes up.
He's looking for the item.
You told him I have it?
I had to. He had me by the lapel.
Okay. I guess I'll just have to take care of business.
Yes, you will. Don't forget. I have your precious valuable.
I won't forget. I won't forget.
You better not. Goodbye.
Now, ladies listening at home, I know what your precious valuables are. Your dishes. And the best way to clean them, of course, is with grill pads.
Aw, sweetheart, I can't get any of these clean. Look at how difficult this is. I don't know how you do it every day.
Oh, you silly boy. Despite my broken arm, I can still do woman's work twice as you can. I guess that's no surprise.
Well, I can see that your brilliance has more to do than just your smile.
Well, look, let me take out the left arm from my sleeve, and a brill pad, and...
A brill pad?
Why, yes. Look, dinner is coming right off.
Wow, that's amazing. Your meatloaf sure can't stand up against brill pads.
Yes. Now, let me give you a massage. How's that?
Absolutely brillific.
Leave all the woman's work to me. And with the help of brill pads, it's easy.
Thanks, Brill.
Yes, grill pads. Grill pads, because women don't need to know. Thanks for catching up with me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when last we left, Detective Jack Marston was headed over to Effeminate Lou's. But in Effeminate Lou's, Sally, the waitress, was trying desperately to get somebody to talk to her and was having very little luck with the patrons.
No, really, it's just
I just need some coffee, lady.
Why, it's a whole 70 degrees outside. It's pretty nice for New York City.
Yeah, you know what's nice in New York? Coffee.
Quiet.
Quiet New York.
Well,
Marston entered the door like he owned the place.
Excuse me, lady.
oh, pardon me. Oh, hello, sir.
Looking for feminine Lou. You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, why, certainly. Effeminate Lou, why, he always sits at the end of the table there.
Is that him? In the pink fedora?
Marston wondered why she was so nervous. Why a broad hadn't talked that fast since the last time he asked one out.
Slow down, slow down. You sound like a hamster running on a wheel.
Well, I just want to say that, well, you're insightful. That's exactly right. That is effeminate Lou.
What you so nervous about? And what's that black eye you got?
Oh, why, nothing. Well, what's your business to do with me? Just, there's Lou.
I'll be watching you, lady.
Huh.
She looked like she had been backhanded. The place gave me the creeps, the willies. I saw Lou over there and I approached him, carefully.
You guys just go ahead and finish up all that on the other side. Make sure all the cheese is put together, too.
He was sitting at the
Dad.
bar wearing a leopard skin smoking jacket. He had a pinky ring the size of your fist.
That's quite a ring you got there on your knuckle.
Thank you. My father gave it to me.
You wouldn't be effeminate Lou, would you?
It's a manner of speaking. Yes, I am. Why?
Well, my name is
Martin.
Marston. Not Martin. Marston.
Oh.
You looking for a Martin?
No, I'm not looking for a Martin. I'm looking for a Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Well, I'm a dick, all right.
Aha!
Stop looking at me like that, like I'm a sandwich and you haven't eaten in a week. What's so funny?
You're
think
funny. You came walking in here staring at me. What do you need?
Order up 2 Shirley Temples.
Thank you, Markle.
So, I reached out and shook his hand. It was about as strong as a wet noodle. Nice grip you got there.
Thanks. I got it in the war.
Really?
Yes.
What side were you on?
The winning side.
All right, good.
You're so smart. What do you need from me, mister?
No.
Mr. Marston?
It's not what I need, it's what I want.
Well, if I got $1 for every time I heard that.
What I want are answers. You see this box?
Been a while, but yes.
No, this one.
Oh.
Let me open it. Stop with the funny business. This is serious business.
Fine, you're the one that started it, but go right ahead. Wow, that's gorgeous. Look at the interior. It's blue, and it has a little dippy center with it, where maybe you kind of place you could put a beautiful sapphire.
A sapphire? How'd you know? Any stone could have fit in that hole.
The floor show was about to begin. The beautiful Miss Javier was taking her spot on the center stage.
What's that? The lights have changed.
That's right, it's time for the floor show. Come center stage with me.
She was taking requests, as she did every Thursday. And somebody called out the name of their favorite tune.
Jackie's Little Pinky Toes.
Oh, Jackie's Little Pinky Toes. I love to sing this song. Johnny, Jackie's Little Pinky Toes. Well, they are small and round. Well, they walk on the ground. They look like dots or bubbles. They're white and clean. Jackie's little pinky toes. They make me want to scream. Jackie, Jackie, come here and tell your mama you love her so. They're round and perfectly formed. And when I look at them, I feel all kinds of warm. Oh, Jackie! Oh, little Jackie! Come here and walk on Mama's back. Jackie, my little Jackie, walk your pinky toes right over to the sack. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Drink up and make sure to tip your waitresses. So nice.
She was amazing, beautiful, but she looks vaguely familiar to me.
Really? How so?
Well, she looks a lot like a woman I met last night.
Well, she probably is someone you've known from the past. She's very popular in these parts.
What's her name again?
Miss Javier.
I'd like to get backstage to go see her. Is that possible?
Sure, that's possible. I would just keep that giant loop covered up.
All right. I'll try to do that.
Listen, Marston, before you go...
Get your hand off my leg.
Sorry. There's one thing you should know. There's the man that comes in here every now and again, Daniel Cooper.
Daniel Cooper?
That's right.
All right.
He's kind of a local man. Doesn't really do much in the theater. He's mostly here just to see the show, and then he's off on his way. Not the kind of man who I might be interested, if you know what I mean.
Not really.
That's fine. And he's the kind of person that might know things, like how to get jewelry.
All right.
Good luck with Miss Javier, and good luck with the leg.
I didn't know what he meant by that last statement. The way he kept looking me up and down, I felt like a lollipop in front of a hungry group of school kids.
He crossed back behind the bar. There was a sign that said backstage. He passed through a beaded Chinese curtain into the murky room behind. And there, sitting at the mirror, was Miss Javier.
Hello?
I'll just stand here, as I don't want to intrude on you, ma'am, while you're in your silk nightgown.
Did you come to ask Miss Javier for autograph or something more?
Just feel like I know you from somewhere. I couldn't see you very well from the stage. I feel kind of funny talking to the back of your head while you're taking off your makeup.
Well, if you don't mind, I will go behind the screen and change, and we can talk, Mr.
Marston. Jack Marston.
Marston. Jack Marston.
She was behind that screen and looking at the shadows. It was like looking at a set of mountains in the distance.
What can Miss Javier do you for, Mr. Marston?
Do you know anything about sapphires?
Pardon me. Could you hand me the glass of seltzer water? My throat is dry after I sing Jackie's Little Pinky Toes.
Yes.
All those high notes.
He passed it over the top of the screen, and she handed over a piece of silk that went from her shoulders to about mid-thigh.
Those lyrics were uncanny. Who's the writer of that song? I gotta buy him a drink.
He's dead.
Really?
But you could buy me a drink.
Why, I'd like to do that, but I need answers to questions that I got for you that you got answers for.
She draped one of her hose across the top of the screen.
My goodness. I haven't seen pantyhose like that since France, when I could get a date with any woman in town just by showing them to them. They're so desperate.
He thought about crossing the Maginot Line.
Well, I am changed, as you see. Let's sit and talk. You have questions, you said.
Yeah. First of all, what's your accent from? Your name is Miss Javier. I take it's Spanish?
It's Colombian Portuguese.
Interesting.
I'm mixed.
Let me show you this box.
If I had a dime for every time I hear that.
Yeah, you probably have about $500, my guess.
Some of the seltzer water spilled on the black velvet. Her hand was shaking so hard when she saw the box.
Beautiful box. Where'd you get it?
You nervous?
Sorry. Nervous. Miss Javier does not get nervous. Miss Javier sang for the president of Colombia, Portugal.
I got it. I got it from a woman named Wanda Jackson. Ever met her?
No, name. That sounds like fake name, Wanda Jackson.
Really?
What's she like, this Wanda Jackson?
She's about your height, about your build. It speaks with a perfect American accent. It doesn't look like she has half the talent you have.
Well, that doesn't sound like a very interesting story. Tell me, is that a loop in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
I'm happy to see you. The loop's in my hand.
He started to extend it to her, and her eyes darted over his shoulder nervously. He wondered what she was looking at. He turned to look, and that's when the lights went out.
What are you looking at? Hey, what's that? Let go of me! And ow! Ow! My back of my head! Getting beaten repeatedly! Lights going out! Fading!
The last thing he saw were those eyes. The type of eyes you could drown in. And then he did. You know, ladies and gentlemen, about this time in our show, I usually like to have a quick cocktail. And when I turn to a drink, I turn to Wild Horse Wine, the sponsor of our sister Wild Horse Roundup show.
Okay, boys. All right. We're celebrating a victory.
Oh, victory!
Shoot my gun off in the air is what I like to do.
That's a victory, all right.
And for everybody, I got a bottle of Wild Horse Wine.
Wild Horse Wine! I've rung the crystal.
All right, let me pull the cork out. Hold on a second.
Made by my people.
There we go. Here's some for you, Big Jim.
No, Lemuel. Hold it by the stem.
All right. Here's some for you, little Annie.
Well, thanks.
It's good for 6-year-olds. Missy Kim.
Oh, thanks. Oh, it's better than the sommelier.
And for you, Chief Red Nose.
Like firewater.
Only more delicious.
Say, Sheriff, tell us what makes Wild Horse Wine the best wine of all.
Yeah.
Well, Wild Horse Wine is a bunch of grapes stepped on by wild horses. It's their repetitive hoof crushing that makes the grapes splat all over.
It tastes like the prairie.
That's right, and it puts hair on your chest.
Woo-wee, I can't wait.
Well, you'll have your chance, little Annie. You'll have your chance. Everybody, let's raise our cup to a glass of Wild Horse Wine. Thanks, Wild Horse Wine. Wild Horse Wine.
Enjoy the fresh, refreshing taste of Wild Horse Wine, now with twice as many ponies. When last we left, Detective Jack Marston, the lights had gone out, just like a blackout during the war that he remembered over London. He slowly came to, and all he could see was a bulb dangling over his face. But he heard two men arguing. One of them had a Russian accent.
Listen to me, mister. You bring back men for my time, I show you good time.
I tell you, this mug is so heavy, it's like hauling around a pile of bricks.
Well, make sure you lift brick up high.
Look here, you filthy rusky. Don't tell me how to carry a man.
Yeah, filthy rusky, save your neck in war.
Yeah, well, don't think I ain't grateful. That's why I'm not shooting you here with this .32 I got poking out of my vest.
Keep it up, keep it up.
So what are we supposed to do with this guy? She didn't say.
Well, first thing we need to do is pour more vodka on him. Make sure he smell like he been drinking heavily.
Yeah, I'll just pry open his lips here.
Let's pry open lips. Oh, look at Loop. What a nice Loop has. Here,
wow.
You could trade this in for more monies.
Wow, I got it in my eye socket. It's like I can see all the little pores on my skin. It's amazing.
You look like pirate.
Speaking of pirates, Master could smell the sea. The sick, briny smell of the sea and rotten shrimp. He knew he was down by the wharf when he heard an overhead door slide up and a ditzy broad welcomed the two fellas in.
Hey, come on in.
All right, come on, we carry with us. Let's go.
What you bringing more trouble for?
This trouble needs to sail very far away.
Well, has he got the goods with him?
He's got goods. He has box.
Oh, I'm a lady.
And lady, ain't you a lady? You got a derriere like a civil service job. It goes on for days, but the benefits are so good you don't want to quit.
Oh, go on.
You sure talk pretty.
My pop told me that joke.
Speaking of ladies, I don't just do this stuff for free, you know. Where's my goodness?
Here, I've got your goodness right here. Paid in full.
Oh, it's beautiful.
One of the best you're going to find in the world. Look at the way it is cut. Look at the beauty, how it caresses around the side of the box. The edges, the shine. You don't find this in just any pawn shop.
Let me take it right now.
Whoa, not so fast, beautiful dame.
Marston thought it was time to make his move. He reached out and snatched it, only to find out that it was a cut crystal swirl.
Give me that! Think I've been asleep the whole time? That's right, I got a gun pointed right at you. You didn't search me before you carried me.
Ah, gosh darn it, if my name ain't Daniel Cooper, I could just kick myself.
Daniel Cooper? You, Rusky. You, Dane. Dane, you beat it. Rusky.
Vladimir, it's better name than...
She got on a bicycle and rode down the wharf.
Wait a minute. You're not Vladimir Vaskovich, are you?
Voskamik.
Pardon me. And you, Cooper, just the man I've been looking for. So, who put you up to this?
I tell you one thing, whether you're Private Dick or a PI or a police detective, I don't rat.
Oh, really? How about with a fistful of knuckles?
Look out!
Ow!
How'd that taste?
Ah!
I want a second helping?
No!
How about one right in the haymaker? Ooh! Yeah, and one right between the eyes.
Ah! The loop!
I'll take that. And you, Vladimir, there's more for where that came from.
Really? You could think you could stand up to good old-fashioned Vladimir?
Yeah, take this.
Bring it! Oh!
And that.
Oh!
And that.
Oh! Ow! Oh! Oh!
15 minutes later.
Give up yet?
Rusky never give up. Oh!
Oh, he fell right on my bread basket.
Listen, Cooper, now that the Ruski's out cold, I want to know what effeminate Lou meant when you were snooping around the bar. And I want to know what you know about Miss Javier in this empty box.
Okay, I give it up. It's all a big insurance scam.
What?
You see, she buys these precious jewels from traders from overseas, and then because she also works as Miss Javier, the singer-performer, she substitutes the precious jewels with cheap costume jewelry she gets from the Stage Performers Union Hall.
What are you talking about? Wanda Jackson is Miss Javier?
Yeah, she had to change her name because no one wants to see a burlesque act from Wanda. What's her name?
What do you expect me to believe that? There's no way that woman could be the same woman.
Suddenly, there was a gunshot.
Ah! My spleen!
And Marston's gun went flying out of his hand.
Ah, the ricochet off his spleen knocked my gun out of my hand. Why, whoever... You.
That's right. It's me, Marston. Too bad I didn't get here a little sooner. I could have shut up Cooper before he spilled all the beans. Yes, shut up.
Why, that's quite a genius plan you have.
That's right. Only maybe the one thing you haven't figured out is you had the blue sapphire the whole time.
What do you mean? This box is... Wait a second. There's a false bottom on this box.
I thought you were supposed to be a good detective.
What do you want? A medal or a chest of... Well, you got one right there. All right.
I want you to either take a powder or to join me. Join forces with me. We can make a pretty sweet take.
Look, this dick don't swing both ways. I'm on the right side, you see?
That's not what effeminate Lou told me.
What? What did that rat tell you? It ain't true.
It's all over town.
There was a loop in my pocket, I tell you. Listen, sorry, but you just have to off me right here.
All right.
Wait a minute,
Say your prayers, Marston.
I'm Jewish. Hold on a second. Let me remember my bar mitzvah days. Baruch atah Adonai. Take that!
Oh!
That's right.
You hit a woman.
That's right. I'm not below that.
Look into my eyes, Jack. Jack, I thought we had something.
I can't let her do this to
Remember?
those eyes.
Remember when I said I was desperate?
She's desperate.
And
I can't.
if I was a desperate woman, we'd be soulmates. And remember when I sang the song as Miss Javier?
Yes.
You were swimming in my eyes.
I was.
I had you under my power. We could be that way again on an island somewhere we could live.
She fell like a load of bricks, and standing right behind her was effeminate Lou.
I owe you one, effeminate Lou.
I'll say that again.
So, you come to collect, huh?
Well, I've come to collect. I've come to find out exactly what you're up to.
Well, what I'm up to is a Ruski, Daniel Cooper, and this two-faced blonde.
Blood?
Okay, careful, kid. Don't faint. Just lean on my shoulder.
Listen, Miss Javier, she's important to me. I need her.
Think I should just let her go after she tried to kill me?
Well, I'm sure it's not the first time someone's tried to wrap their hands around you and keep them for themselves. I'm sure you're the kind of person who's looked into someone's brown eyes and gotten lost a little bit. Kind of like a dark, deep cave.
A dark, deep cave. I don't know what you're getting at.
Never mind, maybe it's just me.
Maybe it is. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, what's so funny?
Nothing. It's just that whenever I feel uncomfortable around a man, I get giddy. Listen.
I know the feeling.
Listen, Lou.
Yes?
No one has to know that she tried to steal this diamond, this sapphire. I guess I can just keep it and she can collect on the insurance policy and everyone can live happily ever after.
You do that for me? And her? And my club?
Well, yeah.
You're all right, Marston. You're all right.
Hey, listen, get your hand off my leg.
Sorry. Just want you to know, I think your chest is like a barrel full of pickles.
I'm not even gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. Listen! It's getting late, and I'm expecting a delivery from the Edwards Milk Service. They're the only milk service that arrives before sunrise.
Sure.
When your cereal is waiting on the table for you, Edwards Milk Service is the one that comes knocking on your door with the freshest, coldest... Hold on a second. There's a phone. Marston here. Uh-huh. Yeah? I'll be right there.
Another case?
No. It's Edwards Milk Service. He's locked out.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Another exciting adventure in the life of Detective Jack Marston. Tune in next week for another exciting adventure with these, the Liquid Radio Players. Breiter, Paul Hungerford, Maurissa Afanador, Michael Perkins, Kimberly Lewis, Gary Ray on FOLEY, the fantastic keyboard antics of Jonathan Green. In the booth, it's just Badgett and Fox. I'm David St. Cox. Thank you very much. Good night!